Now, Leave It to Beaver took a totally new and unique perspective. It was the adult world seen through the eyes of a child.
The original, disturbing version of Leave It to Beaver that was erased by the studio is a story almost nobody knows. Before the world saw the clean and happy Cleaver family, there were early ideas and scenes that were very different from what aired on TV. Some versions were too dark, too strange, and even uncomfortable for audiences of that time, so the studio decided to remove them completely. But what exactly did they hide? And why did they change so much of the story we thought we knew? Join us as we uncover the hidden truth behind it all. The lost pilot that started Leave It to Beaver. Leave It to Beaver is one of the most recognized American television situation comedies ever produced. The series follows the life of Theodore "the Beaver" Cleaver, a curious and often innocent young boy portrayed by Jerry Mathers. Through his everyday experiences at home, at school, and around his suburban neighborhood, Beaver finds himself involved in situations that are both entertaining and relatable. The show was created by Joe Connolly and Bob Mosher, two writers who had previously worked on Amos and Andy. The series consisted of 234 black and white episodes, not including the pilot episode. All episodes were produced in a full-screen format. The program originally aired from October 4th, 1957, until June 20th, 1963. During its run, it became a beloved family comedy and earned a lasting place in television history. Before the series officially began, a pilot episode was created to introduce the characters and concept. This pilot was titled "It's a Small World" and was first broadcast on April 23, 1957.
The original name was not Leave It to Beaver. It was called It's a Small World. And so we went in, we did the pilot, and there was a totally different cast.
At that time, the program looked somewhat different from the version that viewers would later come to know. In the pilot, Casey Adams played Ward Cleaver, the father of the Cleaver family. The role would later be recast for the regular series. Paul Sullivan portrayed Wally Cleaver, Beaver's older brother. These casting choices were changed before the show officially debuted as a series. As a result, the pilot presents an early version of the Cleaver family that differs from the one featured in the television program that followed. Years later, the pilot received renewed attention. On October 6, 2007, TV Land re-aired It's a Small World as part of a special 24-hour marathon celebrating the 50th anniversary of Leave It to Beaver. This event allowed fans to revisit the rarely seen beginning of the classic series and appreciate how the show developed before reaching television audiences on a regular basis. The popularity of Leave It to Beaver also led to several home video releases. Universal Studios Home Entertainment released the first and second seasons on DVD in Region 1. The pilot episode was included as part of the first season DVD collection, giving viewers an opportunity to watch the original presentation. Later, Shout! Factory released Season 3 on June 15, 2010. Shortly afterward, the company released a complete series collection on June 29, 2010, making all episodes available in a single set. The pilot episode itself has an interesting history. It's a Small World served as the foundation for what would become Leave It to Beaver. During its development, the project was originally proposed under the title Wally and the Beaver. Rather than airing as part of the future series, the pilot was first shown on the syndicated anthology program Studio 57 on April 23, 1957. The presentation of the pilot differed noticeably from the familiar series. It was broadcast without a laugh track, which gave it a different atmosphere from later episodes. It also did not include the show's famous theme song, The Toy Parade, which eventually became closely associated with Leave It to Beaver. Because of these differences, the pilot offers a unique look at the early stages of the program before its final format was established. Although it introduced the characters and setting, It's a Small World was never broadcast as an official episode within the series itself. Instead, it remained separate from the regular production. For many years, the pilot was difficult to find and became something of a mystery among fans of the show. After its original broadcast in April 1957, the episode was misplaced. Over time, many believed that it had been lost completely. The pilot remained missing for years, leading people to fear that no surviving copy existed. Fortunately, a copy was eventually discovered in a film vault located in Illinois. This rediscovery allowed television historians and fans to preserve an important piece of the series' history. Following its recovery, the pilot was finally shown again to television audiences. On October 4th, 1987, it aired as the third season premiere of the new Leave It to Beaver, the revival series that brought the Cleaver family back to television during the 1980s. The date was especially meaningful because it marked exactly 30 years since the original Leave It to Beaver premiered on CBS. The pilot gained even more visibility when it was broadcast again during TV Land's 50th anniversary celebration in October 2007. Its inclusion in the event highlighted its importance as the starting point of a series that had remained popular for generations. Before that, the episode had also been released on DVD in 2005, making it easier for fans and collectors to view. The surprisingly sad return of Leave It to Beaver. Leave It to Beaver was one of the most wholesome and beloved sitcoms of the 1950s. The series became famous for its warm family values, light-hearted humor, and lovable characters. Because of that, many fans were excited when producers decided to reunite the cast for a made-for-television movie in 1983. However, instead of showing happy and successful lives for the Cleaver family, the movie presented a much darker future for many of its characters. No character suffers more than Theodore Cleaver, better known as Beaver. The movie opens with a sad version of the show's familiar theme song, immediately setting a different tone. From the very beginning, everything seems to go wrong for Beaver. His wife ends their marriage and sends him away when he asks for a temporary separation rather than a complete divorce. As he prepares to leave, another problem quickly appears. The car he plans to drive belongs to his father-in-law, who demands that it be returned. Forced to continue on foot, Beaver faces even more embarrassment when lawn sprinklers suddenly turn on and soak him. With nowhere else to go, he ends up taking a bus and moving back in with his mother. Adding to the sense that he has not moved forward in life, he is still wearing the same baseball cap that viewers remember from his childhood. Things are not much better for Beaver's older brother, Wally. During the original series, Wally was the successful and popular son who excelled in sports and attracted plenty of attention. In the reunion movie, he is married to Mary Ellen, but the couple does not have children. Although they want to start a family, they are unable to do so. The situation presents a very different picture from the perfect image many viewers remembered from the original show. The family has also experienced a major loss. Because Hugh Beaumont was in poor health during production, the character of Ward Cleaver was written out as having passed away. His absence leaves June Cleaver living alone. Her situation does not improve much when Beaver returns home. Instead, she once again finds herself acting like a parent, even having to correct him for drinking milk directly from the bottle. Many of the supporting characters also return, but their lives have not turned out especially well. Eddie Haskell, who was already known for causing trouble as a teenager, has become even less trustworthy as an adult. He now runs a construction company that does poor work and damages the foundation of Wally's new house. The situation leads to a heated confrontation between the two former friends, showing a much harsher side of their relationship than viewers had seen in the original series. Beaver's old friend Larry Mondello also makes an appearance. His life has taken an unusual direction, and he is now part of a strange religious group. His appearance has changed dramatically, as he wears robes and a turban, making him one of the more unexpected surprises in the movie. The next generation of Cleavers faces problems as well. Beaver and his wife have 2 sons. When his soon-to-be ex-wife is accepted into veterinary school in Italy, the boys are sent to live with Beaver. The older son, played by Corey Feldman, often treats his younger brother poorly. Their relationship lacks the kindness and support that often existed between Beaver and Wally during the original series. The younger boy shares many of Beaver's personality traits and appears likely to repeat some of the same mistakes unless Beaver begins to take greater responsibility for his life. Despite its gloomy tone, the made-for-television movie attracted a large audience. Critics gave it poor reviews, but viewers tuned in large numbers. Like other television reunion projects from that era, including Return to Mayberry and Rescue from Gilligan's Island, it proved that nostalgia could still attract strong ratings. The success of the movie convinced the young Disney Channel to develop a follow-up series called Still the Beaver. For the new show, some major changes were made. Beaver was no longer portrayed as an irresponsible adult struggling to manage his life. Instead, he became a dependable single father raising his children. Other changes appeared as well. Wally and Mary Ellen suddenly had a 10-year-old daughter, even though the earlier movie had established that they were unable to have children. The series never offered an explanation for this change. Later renamed The New Leave It to Beaver, the sitcom found an audience on both the Disney Channel and TBS. The show lasted for more than 100 episodes, making it a surprisingly successful continuation of the classic series. Even so, that success did not protect it from criticism. In 2002, TV Guide included it on its list of the 50 worst television shows of all time. The reunion movie and its follow-up series gave fans a chance to revisit familiar characters. However, the darker direction taken in the 1983 film made it a very different experience from the cheerful world that viewers remembered from the original Leave It to Beaver. Jerry Mathers reflects on the kindness behind Leave It to Beaver. One of America's most beloved television families was the Cleaver family from Leave It to Beaver. The series focused on a young boy named Theodore Beaver Cleaver and became one of those heartwarming shows that has been enjoyed by generations of viewers. Over the years, its simple stories, strong family values, and lovable characters helped make it a lasting favorite. For Jerry Mathers, who played Beaver Cleaver, the memories of making the show remain very special. Mathers was only 9 years old when the series began, and he recently shared his thoughts about the people who helped make the experience so meaningful. Speaking with People, he talked about his television parents, Hugh Beaumont and Barbara Billingsley, who played Ward and June Cleaver. According to Mathers, both actors were genuinely kind and caring people. He remembered them as individuals who treated everyone with warmth and respect. He explained that Beaumont and Billingsley were wonderful not only to him but also to Tony Dow, who played Beaver's older brother, Wally Cleaver. Their kindness extended to everyone around them, helping create a positive atmosphere on the set. Tony Dow's character, Wally, was often involved in Beaver's adventures and everyday challenges. The relationship between the two brothers became one of the most memorable parts of the show. Behind the scenes, Mathers and Dow were also supported by Beaumont and Billingsley, who helped make the work environment comfortable and enjoyable. While the set was filled with fun and laughter, Mathers explained that Hugh Beaumont also played an important role in keeping everyone focused. Beaumont was known as a very nice man, but he was also a minister. Because of that, he encouraged people to behave responsibly and maintain a professional attitude while working on the series. Mathers said that Beaumont helped keep everyone on the right path. Even though working on the show was enjoyable and entertaining, Beaumont's influence helped create a disciplined environment. The cast and crew had a great time making the program, but they also understood the importance of doing their jobs well and acting responsibly. The atmosphere on the set reflected Beaumont's values. According to Mathers, people enjoyed themselves without allowing things to get out of control. Everyone remained committed to the work, and that helped the production run smoothly. The balance between fun and professionalism contributed to the positive experience that Mathers remembers so clearly today. Many former child actors have spoken about difficult experiences they faced while working in television. Some have shared stories about stressful environments or unpleasant situations. However, Mathers said that his memories of Leave It to Beaver are entirely positive. He explained that being part of the show was fun from beginning to end. Although he still had responsibilities such as attending school, he always enjoyed coming to work. The people around him were friendly and supportive, which made every day a pleasant experience. Mathers recalled that each day brought something different. The work never felt exactly the same, and that variety helped keep things exciting. No matter what was happening during filming, he always felt that the environment remained enjoyable and welcoming. He also believed that one reason the atmosphere was so positive was because many of the people working on the show were parents themselves. Their experience as parents helped them understand how to work with young actors and create a caring setting. This contributed to the sense of comfort and support that Mathers felt throughout his time on the series. Among all his memories, one relationship stood out in a particularly special way. Mathers treasured the bond he shared with Barbara Billingsley, who played his television mother, June Cleaver. Their connection continued beyond their work on the show and became something he deeply appreciated. Billingsley was heavily involved in charity work and often dedicated her time to helping others. Mathers remembered that she would occasionally call him and ask if he could assist her with various charitable activities. Sometimes she would mention that she was not feeling her best and could use some help. Whenever that happened, Mathers was happy to lend a hand. He accompanied Billingsley to different places and became involved with organizations he had never visited before. Together, they helped support the causes she cared about. These experiences allowed Mathers to see another side of the actress who had played his mother on television. He admired her generosity and commitment to helping people. Through her charity work, she made a positive impact on many lives, and Mathers was grateful to have been part of those efforts. His life after Leave It to Beaver. There may be no American family sitcom more iconic than Leave It to Beaver. The series became a symbol of the ideal family, and even its characters grew into cultural archetypes.
The Beaver is the nuclear family. I mean, it's the two children, the father and the mother, and it's the nuclear family trying to get through life. And life is hard, especially for children.
The name Ward Cleaver quickly came to represent a father who was firm, fair, dependable, and wise. Likewise, a June Cleaver type became known as a kind, wholesome, and beautiful wife and mother. The family problems shown on the series were often inspired by situations from the writers' own lives. These challenges were usually resolved in a positive way, making the Cleaver family a model of the family life many viewers admired and hoped to have. Although the show followed a traditional family format, it also achieved several important television firsts. It became the first primetime television series to create a planned series finale. That final episode, titled Family Scrapbook, was also one of the earliest sitcom clip shows. Only a few similar examples had appeared before it, including an I Love Lucy Christmas special. In Family Scrapbook, the Cleaver family looks through photographs from earlier episodes and reflects on memorable moments from the series. The episode revisits many of the show's most recognizable supporting characters, including Wally's troublesome friend Eddie Haskell. It also provides one final piece of information that viewers had long wondered about. During the episode, Ward and June finally explain how Theodore received his famous nickname, Beaver. Over the course of 6 seasons, with 39 episodes produced each season, Leave It to Beaver became one of the most familiar programs on American television. At a time when only 3 major television networks existed, audiences spent years watching the Cleaver family grow and change. Because the cast became so closely connected with their characters, many found it difficult to move on to different acting roles after the show ended. Their identities remained strongly linked to the series in the minds of viewers. At the same time, the popularity of the show continued to have value. Several cast members later returned for revival projects that allowed audiences to reconnect with the beloved characters. Among them was Jerry Mathers, who played Theodore Beaver Cleaver. When Leave It to Beaver came to an end, Mathers followed a path that was typical for many boys his age. He attended high school and embraced his connection to the famous television series rather than trying to distance himself from it. One way he did this was by performing in a band called Beaver and the Trappers. After his school years, Mathers joined the California Air National Guard. During that period, a false rumor began circulating that he had been executed during the Vietnam War. The story spread widely, but it was completely untrue. In reality, Mathers never left the United States while serving in the military. Following his service, he continued his education and earned a Bachelor of Arts degree in philosophy from the University of California, Berkeley. Like many former child actors, he explored several different careers outside the entertainment industry. Over the years, he worked in banking, real estate, and radio. Eventually, however, he found his way back to performing through the dinner theater circuit, where he continued acting before live audiences. A major turning point came in 1983 when CBS reunited Mathers with his surviving Leave It to Beaver co-stars for the television movie Still the Beaver. The film was successful enough to lead to a new television series. During its first season, the program aired on the Disney Channel under the title Still the Beaver. It later moved to CBS and continued for 3 more seasons as the new Leave It to Beaver. The revival series showed Beaver as an adult and a divorced father. It allowed viewers to see how the beloved character had changed over the years, while continuing to explore family life from a new perspective. The return of the cast introduced a new generation to the characters, while also giving longtime fans the chance to revisit familiar faces. Since the revival years, Mathers has continued acting, though his appearances have largely been limited to guest roles and cameos. This approach allowed him to remain involved in the entertainment industry while also spending more time with his family. Outside of acting, Mathers became active in several public roles. He served as a spokesman for the National Psoriasis Foundation, helping to raise awareness about the condition. He also made history by becoming the first male spokesman for the Jenny Craig weight loss program. During the 1990s, he briefly operated a catering business known as Cleaver's Catering. The venture reflected his willingness to pursue opportunities beyond television while still making a connection to the character that had made him famous. In more recent years, Mathers has focused on writing a book about his personal weight loss journey. The project highlights another chapter in his life and career, allowing him to share his experiences with others. The connection between the entertainment industry and the Mathers family has continued into the next generation as well. His son, Noah, built a career as a professional sound mixer. Noah has worked primarily on documentary and reality television productions, including programs such as Coast Guard Alaska. From child star to student, serviceman, businessman, actor, spokesman, and author, Jerry Mathers has lived a life that extends far beyond his years as Beaver Cleaver. While Leave It to Beaver remains the role for which he is best known, his journey after the series demonstrates a career and personal life that continued to evolve long after the final episode aired. Behind the cameras of Leave It to Beaver, Hugh Beaumont's public image as a calm, kind, and responsible father figure was not only something he acted out on television. In real life, he also carried strong personal beliefs and a serious academic background that shaped the way he lived and worked. He was a Methodist minister and held a master's degree in theology from the University of Southern California. During the Second World War, he chose not to take part in combat. Instead, he served as a medic, following his role as a conscientious objector. This decision reflected his strong moral values and his commitment to helping others without participating in violence. Before he became widely known as Ward Cleaver in Leave It to Beaver, Hugh Beaumont had already built a steady acting career. One of his earlier and most notable roles was playing the detective Michael Shane in a series of 5 films based on the character created by Brett Halliday. In these films, the character was often shown as being nearly broke. This was because he refused to take cases that involved unclear or morally questionable situations. He also often worked without pay when he believed it was the right thing to do. This type of role aligned closely with Beaumont's personal beliefs. As a clergyman, he also believed that he should not compromise his moral principles for the sake of acting roles. When the original pilot episode of Leave It to Beaver was made, Hugh Beaumont was not part of the cast. However, changes were soon made after the pilot. Both the characters Ward Cleaver and Wally Cleaver were recast. After these changes, Beaumont was chosen for the role of Ward Cleaver, which became the role he is most remembered for. His performance helped define the image of the ideal television father during that era and made him widely recognized by audiences. Beyond acting in front of the camera, Hugh Beaumont also contributed behind the scenes. He directed several episodes of Leave It to Beaver, showing that his involvement in the show went beyond acting alone. He also wrote one episode, adding another layer to his creative work on the series. These contributions demonstrated his understanding of storytelling and television production in addition to his acting ability. After Leave It to Beaver ended, Hugh Beaumont continued to appear in television roles, but most of his work came through guest appearances rather than leading parts. He appeared in shows such as Wagon Train and Mannix, continuing to stay active in the industry even as his career slowed down. Over time, however, acting opportunities became less frequent. As a result, he eventually moved to Minnesota, where he started a Christmas tree selling business. This marked a major shift in his life away from Hollywood and into a quieter form of work. In the year 1970, Hugh Beaumont suffered a major stroke. After this health event, he officially retired from acting. Although he stepped away from regular television work, he did make a brief appearance in 1980 during a cast reunion segment on a local Los Angeles television news program. This appearance was one of his final connections to the role that had made him famous. He passed away from a heart attack a year before the release of the television follow-up project, Still the Beaver. This later production was dedicated to his memory, recognizing his importance to the original series. Barbara Billingsley also played an important role in shaping the identity of Leave It to Beaver. Before joining the show, she had appeared in a television series called Professional Father, which only lasted one season. When she was cast as June Cleaver, she brought a part of her own personality into the role. In real life, she had a preference for wearing pearl necklaces, and she continued this habit for her character. She believed that pearls helped soften and balance the appearance of a hollow in her neck, so they became a consistent part of June Cleaver's look. One detail that viewers often noticed and sometimes joked about was June Cleaver's habit of doing household chores while wearing high heels. While this became a light-hearted topic among audiences, there was a practical reason behind it. Barbara Billingsley wore heels on set to help maintain visual balance on screen. This was especially important because her co-stars, Jerry Mathers and Tony Dow, were growing taller as the series continued. The heels helped ensure that she did not appear too short in comparison, keeping the visual proportions of the family consistent on camera. After Leave It to Beaver ended, Barbara Billingsley remained in contact with Jerry Mathers, and their relationship continued in a mentoring way. However, she did not take on many acting roles for a long period after the series finished. For about 17 years, her appearances were very limited. During this time, she only appeared twice in guest roles on the television series The FBI, where she played two different characters in separate episodes. In the year 1980, Barbara Billingsley experienced a major return to public attention through her role in the comedy film Airplane. In this film, she played a passenger who could speak jive, a performance that surprised audiences and became widely recognized for its comedic effect. This role marked a major turning point in her career and introduced her to a new generation of viewers. It showed a different side of her acting ability and helped revive her presence in the entertainment industry. After this resurgence, Barbara Billingsley continued working more regularly. She was no longer limited to the image of June Cleaver and was able to take on a wider range of roles. One of her most well-known later contributions was providing the voice of Nanny in the animated series Muppet Babies. This show was a spin-off connected to the Muppets Take Manhattan and became popular with younger audiences. Her voice work helped extend her career into animation and family entertainment. Even with these new roles, Barbara Billingsley continued to return to her most famous character. She reprised the role of June Cleaver in Still the Beaver and in the series that followed. She also appeared in the 1997 film adaptation of Leave It to Beaver. In this movie, she made a cameo appearance as Aunt Martha. She was one of only 3 actors from the original television series to appear in the film. The other 2 were Ken Osmond, who appeared as Eddie Haskell Sr., and Frank Bank, who played Frank. Barbara Billingsley lived a long life and passed away in the year 2010 at the age of 94.
Barbara Billingsley became June Cleaver. Billingsley, who died over the weekend at 94, was the mother of all TV mothers. On Leave It to Beaver, Mrs. Cleaver was patient, understanding, and could be a tough disciplinarian.
What do you think about the Leave It to Beaver? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Before you go, be sure to click on the video shown on your screen.